Hello, good evening, students, or actually, well, it's meant to be good morning. This is to all my students, Friday through, well, Thursday and Friday students, obviously, all week students. Anyway, Mr. Metcalf here. First of all, I want to thank you all for the well wishes and the emails and the support that you guys have given. Over the last week since I got myself smoked in the eye with a baseball. So I'll just tell you a little bit what happened. I was in the batting cages behind an L screen, which if you don't play baseball or softball, you know is what you stand behind when you're pitching to kids in the batting cage, especially since you're only like 20 feet away or so. So my son Jacob and I had just gotten done with soft toss, and we're working on his launch angle a little bit, and so started tossing him some. I actually went behind the L screen and threw out the first pitch, and I was not far enough behind the L screen, and so when he hit the line drive, it went right into my face. I turned around, kneeled down, and laid down on the ground, and there was all kinds of blood everywhere. I didn't pass out. I didn't get a concussion. I didn't lose consciousness. The whole time I was awake. My son was very calm, and he called the ambulance on his phone and called my wife on my phone, and I went to the emergency room. That was about 5:04 at night. I hadn't eaten since 2 that afternoon. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And about 11:30 at night, I got admitted to Mary Greeley finally after being in the emergency room, getting a CT scan and things like that. I have what they call a Lefort 2 fracture. You guys probably can't see it very well, but it's a fracture that basically goes all the way across the face. They said there's so many fractures that they can't count. So it's all through here, my palate and my mouth, my orbital sockets, the bottom of them. They're everywhere. My nose is broken as well. So anyway, I've been pretty much on a liquid diet with some eggs. I can chew. Well, I can't really chew anything, but I kind of mush scrambled eggs together and eat those. So it's been a good weight loss program so far. Anyway, yeah. Let's see here. You guys really can't tell. Maybe if I don't know where that went. Anyway, so I thought I would go over this assignment, the DBQ assignment. And I'd like for you guys, if you've already turned it in, to go back over it and really look at what you've done. It is a harder assignment, but it's one that you guys are extremely capable of. You're one of the smartest classes that I've taught as far as grade wise in my 6 years. You guys have impressed me quite a bit with your, especially like when we were going through Socratic discussions and the things you guys come up with. Been very impressed. So this is definitely not out of your league. Okay. So all the things that I'm going to share, all the links with you in a minute, I'm going to put on Google Classroom for you guys to take a look at, okay, under the assignment. So there's a really good link here, writing your own DBQ. Let me just explain to you what it is. A DBQ goes through a few different documents. In your case, it's going to be 7. And then there's a question that goes along and can be answered by people looking at those 7 documents, whether it's something to read, charts, graphs, things like a timeline, things like that. You use those documents to answer your critical thinking question. And that's what it is. It's a critical thinking question. Okay. Along with that, you have to create a rubric, right? Something that if someone were to turn their assignment into you, you would be able to go off and grade off of. Okay. So you guys can take a look at that. All right. And then finally, an APA, and I don't care if it's 6 or 7. I forgot that there's a whole bunch of different APAs. So APA 6 or 7, works cited, okay, for the things that you found. All right. You need to do some good research, okay? .edus, .govs, um, .orgs, but mostly edus and govs. Any kind of using JSTOR from Google Scholar, okay? I do realize after writing this that not every single document is going to be able to be primary, but a majority of them should be able to be primary, okay? What you want is firsthand accounts of things, the best you can get, okay? And I was in just looking for my own things, I found quite a few primary sources. So there's also charts out there and there's graphs like that. I did some Googling for that. Okay, so this is the first document I'm going to share with you, all right, or the first website, and it's Writing Your Own Dbq, and it goes through, it's actually really good, okay? Condense your content. What exactly are the learning targets for the people that you're writing this for, okay? What do you want them to learn? In your DBQ, this is an example. In my DBQ, I wanted students to learn about Texas and the Civil War, including battles, economic contributions, and military leadership. Then you write a provocative essential question, right? So, go through these. Create your categories, find your primary sources, okay? And then you write your own essay, what your answer would be. And then you can base your rubric off of that, okay? All right, so that's the first website. This next website just gives some examples of a DBQ, okay? This one has 7 documents. You click on each one. It gives the source at the top. You can look at the reading, right? Whoa, what happened there? I hate when it does that. But for each document, there's reading, or see, look here, pollution estimates for Puerto Rico by ethnicity, right? Or population, excuse me. Right? There's mostly reading ones, but there's also graphs and charts and things like that you can input, right? There's even pictures with a little bit of writing at the top, okay? Cartoons, things like that. Now, I don't know how many cartoons you might find from back then, but I'm fine if you guys use more than Google Scholar. If you use Google as well, that's fine, but really your sources need to be quality sources. All right. So that's the next website, just an example of a DBQ. I did some Googling, primary sources on feudalism. There's plenty of them, right? And the very first one, Middle Ages, finding primary sources. Okay. Primary sources on the bubonic plague, right? There are more here. Okay. There's plenty here. Charts for feudalism in the Middle Ages. There are charts. And then there's also charts for the bubonic plague in the Middle Ages. So I'm going to post all those. Okay, so really what you're doing, you are writing a DBQ assignment. You'll have to have primary sources and some charts, pictures, whatever, at least 7, right? Those 7 sources will be what you use to answer the question, okay, the essential question you come up with, okay? You'll have to have a rubric so that if people were answering your question, you'd have that rubric so you can grade, okay? And you can Google rubrics, or you can use one that we've used in class, right? That might be posted on one of the assignments. Not use that one, but make yours based off of that, okay? And then finally, you'll have that APA work cited, all right? It's okay if you work in groups of 2 or 3. Some people have emailed me about that already. But please, this assignment isn't meant to be done in 10 or 20 minutes. This assignment needs to be well done, well thought out, okay? So if you need, obviously you're going to need tomorrow or Friday, obviously. But if you need one more class period, okay, you can take Monday and Tuesday. I'm fine with that, okay? But if I don't hear from a majority of you, I'm going to assume that you don't, and that you will have turned it in by the original deadline, which is 8 a.m. Monday morning, which is what I put for each class, okay? So what I would like you to do is make sure that you answer these questions. You can shoot me emails tomorrow if you need to. I'll be at Mayo Clinic getting checked out by the doctor there. They thought it was serious enough that they moved the appointment up from Monday to tomorrow. So I'm hopeful that they'll get something figured out, and hopeful that I'll be able to return to you guys soon. Don't be overwhelmed by this assignment. Take it as a challenge. Take it as a challenge and kick its butt all over the place. Okay? You guys have good substitutes who are extremely smart. They know how to get a hold of me if necessary. But look it over. Make sure that you are doing quality work. Okay? Like I said, I gave you guys the time because this assignment should take you that much time. Okay? All right. That's all I've got for now. Let me know if you have questions later. Good night, guys.